And we're about to go live here for round 3. Surprised Subtle Tease actually has jobbers this round. It's an odd board, not too much of an oceanside advantage. This cluster against the wall will be interesting to nav around, since half of the influence ring won't matter. We'll be able to cover points at the same time. Subtle Tease got 4 of their frigs oceanside, which was better than their 1 last round. Looks like MJT is down ships. See, 4 Subtle Tease on that side, 2 here for a total of 6, and MJT is at 5. Wonder where their ships are. Let's see what jobbing numbers are at. MJT is at 353, and it is impossible to find Subtle Tease, but we'll get there. We won't get there. There we go. They're at 427. They have quite a large advantage, but they are down 2 rounds already. First point goes to Subtle Tease. Grabbing up a 1-pointer. That guy behind the rock, you're not gonna be very useful. Trading with an oceanside Subtle Tease frig is good though, since they are the defender and can't go oceanside. This dedicated lamprey has TCZ naving on it. MJT got their 6 frigons. They're only 2 turns behind, but that is Subtle Tease's 7th, so they are still a frig behind. Be interesting to see how that affects the board. And wow, Subtle Tease's next frig is up to 29, and MJT is at 15, so they're down a frig and about 15 jobbers in port. That's really not good for them. You can see they can't even get this 1-pointer covered at the moment. This is the first round where Subtle Tease has actually had an advantage point-wise from the very start of the round. MJT was getting on the board quicker the past couple rounds, and abandoning 3-pointers is not a good way to win blockades. Not at all. Really, you gotta get on points there, TCC. That hurts a lot. What is he even doing? Like, he could be covering both of these. Yeah, so there's that. And he gets blocked again. And off points. Come on, TCC, you're better than that. And all the other puzzles, at least. Well, MJT get jobbers out of nowhere. Their loading frig is at 41, and the loading Subtle Tease frig is at 33. So it's 426 for Subtle Tease, and 387 for MJT. Still down, but at least only by a frig. A little less than a frig. Ow. Ow to this frig right here. In the rocks, just getting shot in the butt, shot in the side. Ow. MJT. They got their 7th frig on. About 10 minutes into the round. Which, that's very slow. This round is not going good for MJT, but certainly going well for Subtle Tease. Especially when they shoot each other. They did get the sync on TCZ already. That was very poor performance from TCZ. Got the first points to MJT. A nice 2-pointer. And hopefully this new frig will get better control of that 3. Because that was pretty pathetic. That last frig. Got some free points given to Subtle Tease. Well, it is the start of the round, but it's gonna be hard for MJT to come back from this. The last couple rounds, we saw a total of like 50 to 70 points per side over the whole rounds, and Subtle Tease is already up to 40. With this many frigs on the board, it's hard to pick up points because there's so many ships to cover points. But MJT has been giving up that Oceanside 3, this one, like every turn, and that's a really big problem for them. Although they got their quick turnaround times, at least. One positive note. Got their 7th frig back on. So they're even on ships right now. But they're still down in jobbers. Subtle Tease has a loading frig at 43, which will be on shortly compared to MJT's loading frig, which is only at 14. So, if MJT wants to win this round, I mean, they really have to out-nav quite significantly, which we did not witness at the start of the round. It seems to be going a lot worse than last round. Last round, they out-naved quite well. They were up 3 sinks at the start of the round. 3-0. But it's just not happening for him this time. $37 points to Subtle Tease. Looking at this round, you kind of sit here going, how did MJT win the last 2 rounds? Like, They kind of look really bad right now. Or maybe Subtle Tease just got their act together finally. They don't do Cades much, you know? MJT is catching up in jobbers. Subtle Tease's frig is at 45 in port, and MJT's is at 35, which a minute ago it was 14 to 45. Well, there goes pay. Pays up to 7K. Subtle Tease has 422 jobbers, and MJT has 413. So it looks like MJT used pay to get back up in, or caught up in jobbers. Right now it's looking like a waste of money. They're not losing this round because of that frig they're down. They are getting out-naffed pretty bad on the board. And getting out-naffed, it would be better if they just left pay low and went through the round like that, and then tried again for round 4, since they're already up 2 rounds. I'm very surprised Subtle Tease didn't back down this round. But that's okay. They're winning, which is a nice change of pace. We could see this Cade go 5 rounds, which the high paying Cades don't usually last that long. It would be very different. Let's see how many nabbers can stay for 6 hours. And how worn out the land staff gets. Free shots into Subtle Tease. Don't know what happened on that ship, but that was not good. Let's see this. If I can figure out how to spell. I'm not a good speller. That's the scene guy again. I do not know the magnificent spot. I'm trying to sit here and think of ways that MJT could get back into this. I mean, it definitely could if they got their nav together. and started getting some sinks and not sinking themselves, that would be helpful, but I'm not sure it would help enough to actually give them the rounds. They'd need a massacre of ships. And like, they just got shot in the butt there. They have a 2v1 on this cluster, which will be hard. They did get 4 points this turn, so no, that could be one way. Subtle Tease throwing around to them by giving up points. Does MJP actually have a frig advantage now? 1, 2, 3, 4, not 8 to 8. Alright, I can't count. They're tied ship-wise, and both of the frigs just came out at the same time, so Subtle Tease is definitely caught up in jobbers. Not Subtle Tease, MJT. Subtle Tease is giving up points all over the place. They finally got him covered this turn, but that was 7 or 8 free points for for MJT. This rig took a beating last turn. He's gonna be hurting. I don't recall if he's the fresh one or not, but that's bad in either case. And then his buddy is facing into a rock and getting shot in the butt. That's the type of nabbing they need to avoid. The ship has taken control of a rock trap, which it's very interesting. I could see that being to MJT's advantage, although he could get shot in the butt. Lots of trading, got a sink. Because this guy's covering the whole cluster from where he's sitting, and he can get shot in the butt, but it'll be hard for them to get in that position every single turn, so I mean, he could get at most 6 in one turn. Unless he's trading, and then they wouldn't be able to get him the next turn. Or he could do that, get shot in the nose. That's cool. I guess we like rock trapping now. I mean, I don't know what Subtle Tease is doing. They have 2 frigs here that are not moving to this cluster. Maybe this one is to hurt or something, but they could be covering these points and they're not. They're kind of throwing them around right now. Ow. Just. Ow. Oh, I guess that why that guy was rock trapping. He was very damaged. We have a new Subtle Tease frig on to. That was a slow turnaround. That was 4 turns, I think, from the guy that sunk there. And that's not helpful for Subtle Tease. Plus, they've got these 2 not covering the 3 points and giving MJT 3 points a turn, which is giving MJT a chance to get back in this. Lots of mistakes on the board today. And nice for MJT to get that sink on a break again. I think it's already on the board. Yep, back on the board. 0 turn turnaround because of breaks. Oh, they got another ship in. I didn't see one go down, but so they're ninth? Oh, okay. I'm smart. He just went Oceanside. Sure, they need one Oceanside. I guess I haven't been paying much attention to the Oceanside clusters. It's possible they're heavy damage. Although, from what I've seen of MJT, most of their ships are heavy damage. Subtle Tease finally got these 3 points covered. It looks like that guy's gonna go hide in the rock trap because he's hurting. It looks like both of those figs are hurting or they'd be doing something. And MJT is reacting by only leaving the one frig here and teaming up onto these. Like they got, or that was a friendly fire sink, which not good, but MJT reacted correctly to this cluster by sending their frigs elsewhere because they're not going to be able to get a sink with this guy rock trapping. At least not right now, it's not worth it. You'll probably see them send the ships back now. But they have an advantage on another cluster. Yeah, that was some good nabbing by MJT on this left side cluster. They're only 19 points behind now. It's 52 to 31. About halfway through the round. There's certainly hope for MJT. Certainly hope. I could see them getting back into this. Especially, yeah, sinking off the dead in the water ships, that's always good. Although, trading with them's not the best. That was a bad spot for that frig. Picked up 1 point there, 1 point there. Got another Subtle Tease ship coming in. That was to replace the one that sank on this cluster. Again, that's very slow turnaround times. Very slow. Loading ships are both around 17, 18. Should have a sink coming soon from the Moody Red. It'd be interesting to see what type of repair rate this ship has. See how good their jobbers are, because you know he wanted that rock trap quite hurt. If he's got a good repair rate, you might see him come out once he's down. Some friendly fire by Subtle Tease over here. That's not helpful for them. I really feel like Subtle Tease is kind of thrown this round. They had a very strong advantage, and all they had to do was, not shoot each other. That would be helpful. Not sinking is also helpful. They could have played very defensively and been fine, just holding their advantage. Giving up, yeah, no, they're the ones giving up this 3-pointer, and they only have that one frig, Oceanside, and there's 2 to 3 of MJTs here. It's gonna be a hard cluster for the Subtle Tease frig. Subtle Tease, that was quicker turnaround. That was about 2 turns. Another Subtle Tease sink. MJT starting to lock this round down, getting the sink advantage. They give up a point, but they also gained a point. It looks like this fresh ship is gonna go trade out with the Magnificent Lamprey. Get that sink, so that cluster will be open again. Hello. The repair rate of the lamprey. It'll be really interesting to find out how much it repaired. We'll have to count how many shots go in. But with how many Subtle Tease frigs are sinking off, there's only 6 frigs on points right now. The 7th and 8th coming. That was decent turnaround time again for that one. But the 4-turn turnaround, they could have 7 frigs on points instead of just the 6 right now if they had faster turnaround. 2v1 advantage here because of that, and there's a 2v1 advantage here because of that. Well, I'm not sure this cluster's effectively using their 2v1 advantage, but this one, they definitely appear to be effectively 2v1ing. I'm not sure why he doesn't want to go trade out. If he's fresh, it'll hurt, but you gotta get him down, and that's the only way to do it. And MJT caught up to within 10 points now, with Subtle Tease leaking points all over the board. Got a 1 point there, 2 points there. 19 minutes left. It's looking good for Subtle Tease, or for MJT, that one. That's the flag I wanted. Just go sink him already. I do not know who's nabbing that, but just go do something or not. Come on, scaredy cat. There's a MJT sink. Their loading frig is at 43. So they could get 2 frigs on the board real quick here, potentially. Jobbing numbers, MJT has 432, and Subtle Tease is at 417. Slight advantage to MJT. Another sink that is not good for for MJT at all. To get back in, they're giving up 3 points a turn. Another 3 over here. I don't think they're ready for both of those frigs to go down like that. Hopefully this one, he can pretty much get him points this turn. He might, no, he won't even get shot, so that, he didn't though. He went the wrong way. He's gonna get blocked. Okay. If he come around the rocks, he could be sitting in them. Could be sitting right here. I'm not sure. I don't think that point would be covered this turn, but he'd definitely get it next turn. Very silly of him to go that way. And I'm sure hoping this rig isn't dead in the water. He needs to get in the whirlpool at least. Get over these 3. So it looks like both sides are kinda making lots of mistakes. This industrial spot is Dahlgren. It's very like Dalgren to not cover points. So he more often than not gets something to happen off of it, so we'll see what he has up his sleeve and see if he can turn this around. And giving up another 3 points, I don't think this is worth it. No idea what the damages are on these ships down here, but someone's gonna sink soon. Got the new MJT frigs coming on as an expected move from the Fantastic Place. There's one sink, ramming himself into the wall, and one sink for both sides. It is an oceanside cluster, so small advantage to MJT, but they gave up another 2 points. Interesting that this frig has to cover the 3-pointer when there's already 2 frigs over there. This magnificent lamprey, it's probably, as long as the jobbers aren't 70% learners, it's probably repaired pretty much all of its damage. Hopefully most of its bilge too. It's been sitting there for quite a long time. This friendly pickerel. If he had just traded with him, it would have been so much better off. Would have been so much better off. But instead, let the ship repair. So, I mean, it could be a double sink. It could both be fresh. It could come down to carpers. And this friendly pickerel just missed shots, which, when shitting in a whirlpool dead in the water, you shoot all 16. Especially when there's no friendly ships around. You just shoot all 16. And he went off points. What the crap. And this cluster. Oh, they got the sink there, that's good. But these 2 ships need to turn around and get over here real fast. Like, most BAs would probably say yesterday or a week ago. But yeah, double sink on that cluster because they let that guy repair for a half hour. And that's the end of MJT's comeback, giving up this whole cluster for that long. What is with the throws today? The throws! Subtle Tease was thrown around, but MJT just threw their comeback, so very, very sad day today. We have this ship here, missing shots to the left. Not really something that should happen. Well, on a positive note, MJT got one turn around there. Well, he's not getting his moves in. We got one moving. They need to get a fresh ship over here to trade out with the Magnificent Lamprey and get it down. They're giving up points out here too. Well, giving up points here and letting that one go uncontested. 11 minutes left. I can't even read the score because I'm blind. They're down by 49 points. There is little chance of MJT making a comeback this round. Although, wow. 3 sinks in one turn. Still, Subtle Tease has everything covered. They're not gonna get anything from that. That was a very expensive loss or throw for MJT. And there's a sink of the MJT ship. I'm sure this one's hurting too. It's been in here for a while, trying to hold the cluster. And we're giving up 2 points a turn. That's smart. I guess the advantage MJT will have is they sink another oceanside frig. They'll be able to get them in quick. There's one Subtle Tease frig. And one MJT frig getting shot in the butt. Jobbing numbers are 412 to MJT and 416 to Subtle Tease, so they are dead even. There's 7 frigs for MJT on the board and 7 for, I said that backwards, whatever, 7 for both. MJT has their 8th frig at 44 in port. This should be getting on soon, and they could get a sink oceanside. It looks like they got that sink. Or they just gained 4 points this turn. And the Lamprey came out of its hole. It's the right time for that ship to come out. Well, so open-minded pickerel, it's better to sink on points. I mean, he could dance around the 3-pointer and probably be okay. He might be trying to head behind the rocks, but the old-fashioned sail will chase him down. Trading over the wall, pew-pewing people in the face. We are down to a 29-point lead by Subtle Tease, and 8.5 minutes left. It's very, I mean, there's still a possibility MJT could win. I know the Magnificent Lamprey and the outgoing whatever that I can't read on this cluster are damaged, and one of these ships is fresh. I think it's the Alewife that's fresh. Maybe it's the other MJT ship, I'm not sure. One of them's fresh, one of them was on this cluster and came over, and I'm not sure what his damage would be. They should be able to get both the sinks. if they're navving okay, which their nav has been on and off all day, so that's unknown. If they get this cluster cleared though, it could go very well for MJT. Giving up 3 points that turn. And right now 3 points a turn. I think that would be enough for MJT to pull off a victory. Do some math. It would definitely be enough. About 2 points a turn would do it as well. I got one that turn. Just need 2 points a turn. MJT, you can pull off a victory. Well, I was thinking this ship might be doing the water off points out here, but he appears to have at least the move to get him back on the 3. So that's good. They got their 2 points that turn. We'll see if they can keep it up. All I have to say is ow. I'm thinking the alewife here is the more damaged one on this cluster, and he's trading out with the lamprey, which the lamprey was the one that was rock trapping, so lamprey could be damaged, or the lamprey could have good carpers. Don't know. They did get their 3 points this turn though, so keeping on pace. Those two are sitting there trading. It's gonna be interesting to see who goes down first. And MJT got the sink. I mean, there's still a frig there covering points, and he's probably gonna go pick off. But if he does go pick off this MJT frig, he's gonna give up some points. But MJT definitely won't be losing any points on this cluster for the rest of this round. Although he didn't go rock trap, and he's probably at 90%, so he probably should have gone into the rock trap. But they gave up the 3, that's total 4 points. That made up for last round, so they are still on track. We're down to a 18-point lead. No, okay, they picked up the 3. That scared me. Why would they give up a 3? $15 points. And 9 more turns? Don't know who's about to go down, but whoever sinks is in trouble. Ow. Doubles, ow. Ow, ow to MJT. Oh boy, alewife. He's the one that traded out back here. He's gonna be hurting. I don't think he'll. I mean, if he has the forward left, He'll be safe. Doesn't look like that's what he wants to do. Okay. And out to this ship. They did pick up 3 points. Oh god, this is a close round. MJT got a frag on the board, but I don't think he'll get here fast enough to help anywhere. It's a 12-point Cade. And he missed shots. And is rock trapping. And there's the sink. That's it for MJT. Good effort. They needed to send this frig ocean. I don't know why they didn't. That if they had gotten, I mean, he'd be on the cluster next turn. And I'm not sure this cluster's worth it, the 3v2, when these ships, these Subtle Tease ships are evading quite well, hiding behind the rocks and just being a nuisance. You just gave up the whole cluster. Good job, interesting alewife. The throws. The interesting alewife here is Chief of something. Chief Sosa? Chief Sosa? Sure. I don't know who that is, but they did not have a strong performance. Good job, Subtle Tease, shooting each other. Helping out there. And it looks like MJT is trying to pull off the damaged ships. Save a little bit of Poe. That was a bad round for everyone. Everyone was trying to throw it, but Subtle Tease's early advantage won out. Well, going to round 4. Pay's already at 7k. This gonna get interesting. Love to see a 5-round Cade. Hopefully both sides will have enough ships. It looks like Subtle Tease might be low with already in the O's. The P's. Although fleets tend to have like a third of the ships in the S's, so they should have at least a third left. And MJT is still up in the I's. I guess they got an O in here. Oh, and an S. Well then. That was round 3. Don't know if I'll be back for round 4, but woo.